Okay.
Hi everyone. I'm gonna make a quick video today of how I drive and the equipment that's in my van. Let me start out by saying that I have a Dodge Caravan 2017 with a revability ramp and airbags in the back. That's the system that I bought with the van. So what I do is real simple. I just drive up my ramp and I turn here to the right. I have two easy lock systems in here. One for when I back in my vehicle, when I have my legs on, and this one here when I just want to just come in forward and drive without my legs. It is much easier to drive without the legs on. And then I just very simply get a little bit taller so that I can come across right to the seat. So to transfer, what I usually do is I very simply, I use my hooks and I just come straight across like this. I find this is easier than using a transfer board or any other system like that. This is the best way for me to transfer over. So let me show you guys real quick the actual equipment that I have that I use when I drive. Let me start out here with this is a push start button system. This Dodge turns with a key, which I can do sometimes, but this was much easier for me to do. So I just very simply hit the ignition button, then hit start. Real simple, real easy to start it out. I then come over here and I hit this button right here, which engages the feather light system for my hand controls. Now, anyone that has an easy lock knows you hear chair not locked all day, all night if you don't hit this button when it's not engaged. So I just hit this one for the one that's in the back there actually, and it deactivates the lock and it stops the noise. So what I have is a feather light system here. So I have a very simple push and pull. Push in for brakes, twist down for push and twist, I'm sorry. So you push in for brakes and then you twist down to accelerate. Real simple, real easy, nothing too complicated. I use a post instead of a knob because I find that I can open my hook like this, so I can just adjust my hook, open it up like this, and I find it's been easier for me to do it this way. I never was a fan of using the knobs when I drove, so I found that this way was definitely much easier. So now I'm all set, I'm ready to go, ready to drive. What I usually do is I hit the button right here, which brings up my ramp, and then I come here like this and I grab my seatbelt, which has this little seatbelt extender on it, or I think it's called a Joey, I'm not sure. But what it does, it allows me to grip it a little bit better and have something out here to hold on to with my hooks. So I then just push that in and it locks in very simply. To release the seatbelt, I just push on the silver button, pull it up, and it releases it. So it's a real easy way for me to do it. Then what I do is I put my armrest down. If you notice here on the armrest, I have this little piece up here. This is a self-engineered piece my neighbor and I did. What was happening was the armrest was too low. It sinks down too low when I drive long distances, or even when I'm driving around when I want to be comfortable. So what I did is we put a piece of PVC, a hose, and some zip ties. Zip ties will fix anything. So it just makes it more relaxing for me. Over here on this side, I have a button. And what this button does, this controls all of my turn signals, my windshield washers. It controls my cruise control and my headlights. So you hit it once, you get a left turn signal. You hit it twice, you get a right turn signal. Yeah, you hit it 3 times, you get the windshield wipers. And then to turn it off, like the windshield wipers, you'd have to cycle through it again 3, and and then you hit, and then it'll stop. It goes all the way up to number 7. Number 7 turns on my cruise control, and then I go cycle again through to number 6, and that activates the cruise control, and number 5 controls the headlights. So it's a real simple system. I have all my controls right here. It's very easy to reach before I take off. My AC, my radio, anything else I need, the nav map. I generally try to have everything set up in here before I go. One of the things that I found is a little bit more difficult. It has a little bit of an older nav system. It's a 2017, so it doesn't sync my iPhone, link it back. So, you know, I would have my maps or my Waze right on the screens. But, you know, I'm getting better at learning where places are and where I have to go. So one of the things I did do after having it a while is I went out and got me a Rexing backup camera system, or, you know, video camera system, which I find I got in my mind just for my own safety and my own insurance purposes, because, you know, first thing someone will say if there is an accident that I have hooks and I don't have legs, so it was my fault and stuff like that. In this day and age, a simple thing like this puts things on my side, so I know what's going on, and there's proof that if the accident wasn't my fault, that it wasn't my fault. So it's a real simple thing. I just had it installed a couple months ago, and it works great. Now what I do is I like to bend my hook in a little bit, just one notch, and because if I don't, I end up hitting the dashboard with my hook. So by bending it in, I have a little bit more room and I can turn it, and it allows me to not hit the dashboard and, you know, slam into the back of anybody when I drive. So it's real simple for me now. It's just driving. Put it in drive, grab my hook, and I'm able to very simply drive off. One of the things that does happen sometimes, if I forget to hit that feather light button, I will get ready to go, put it in drive or reverse, and the car will slowly take off, and then I go to accelerate and I have nothing. So that's why I kind of have a routine as to how I do it, because I could be in traffic or somewhere like that when I'm pulling out of a parking lot and didn't hit it, and all of a sudden I'm stopping in the middle of traffic, which I have done, by the way, and it's not fun. But so I set myself up with a simple routine. What I do here, you know, now I just bend my elbow or shoulder here, hit the turn signal, and I'm good to go. So now I'm just driving, you know, just regular driving like you normally would, except I use cruise controls. Now, one of the things that I found is that I was a truck driver for 30 years, so I drive a little bit different. I'm a lot more defensive in my driving style. I give myself lots of room around vehicles. I give myself more stopping distances from vehicles, so, you know, you don't have the pressure of your foot actually to stomp on the brakes like anyone else would. So I just try to give myself a little bit more room and make it so that driving is a lot easier for me than anything else. One thing you do have to watch out for is if you do have issues with your hook when you're driving. For example, a couple of things have happened to me while I've been driving. I had a rubber band here. 2 of them busted at the same time, one on the inside and one on the outside. And I didn't realize it. So when I went to make the turn, my hook opened up. And I couldn't make the turn because I had no pressure on it. The hook opened up. So one of the things I've learned to do is when I make this turn, I'll show you guys actually. I lean forward a little bit more when I turn, so that allows me not for the hook to open up as much, because I'm forward and the pressure's off my hook, so it won't open up. Because if I don't, then it'll do it that way. And I try not to have that happen, so I keep it, I lean forward into the turn. Another thing is one of the grommets on the thumb part, I call it over here, came loose, and then this part right here, my whole cable system and everything came loose when I was driving. So I couldn't get the hook to move. I couldn't get the hook to release or anything like that, which is actually not too bad, but you have to pull over and make sure you can get it set or figure out what you're doing, because you know it can be very dangerous if your hook sticks or if it opens up when you're driving and you're not sure of what's going on. So again, that's one of the reasons why I give myself plenty of room when I drive around other vehicles. So, you know, driving has made it so much easier for me in my life. I now am able to do a lot. I can go places by myself. I don't have to depend on people. I go to the grocery store. I do all my appointments by myself. I love helping my daughter out and taking the grandbabies wherever they need to go and things like that. So I am really enjoying being ambulatory and able to drive and do things on my own. So it's been really good for me to be able to drive. It really has opened up a lot of things in my life and made life a lot simpler for everyone around me. Again, it's really just the reverse of how I came in. You know, I lift the arm up. I also have to put my hook back in the straight position. And then I just release that. I like to make sure the seatbelt gets back in place 100%. And then I can open my door. And then to turn off the ignition, you hold in the ignition button for about 4 to 5 seconds. And then it just turns everything off, real simple, real easy, no worries. And now, you know, my chair is set to how I like it. Let me explain to you guys about my chair that I have. The chair moves forward and backwards. It goes up and down and it turns, which makes it a lot easier to get in and out. So it'll turn 90 degrees, it'll turn right to the side, so it makes it very easy to get in and out. I only use this system when I am in my legs, and I used to turn the whole chair around and do a whole bunch of stuff. Now that I've gotten better using my legs, I could just stand up and short enough, luckily, to walk inside here, and I walk in and just sit here. I'll make another video one day and show you guys how I actually do it with my legs on. Now to get out, it's real simple again. I just move over to the side, put the armrest down, and I put the seat back down because it does get kind of high, and backing out is never fun going down the ramp when I'm all the way up. I hit the release button for the chair and I back out. You know, it's real simple. Turn it up, get it in a good spot. And then I just simply back right out. Take my keys right here, which is real simple, and close it up. And that's it. Thanks.